Yarn is clearly a big deal in terms of what's happening in Hadoop 2.0. If you had your wish list and say, what would you like to see across Hadoop 2, across the community, et cetera, what would you like to see that would help advance overall the adoption rate, but also the value that you can all bring to the community? What would it be? Let's start with you, Eddie.
Sure. So I think one of the most important things that's out there from someone in the ecosystem that's really trying to push hard into the space is the Ambari work that's going on, standardizing around an Ambari management interface so that people in the ecosystem can choose where to plug into the Ambari architecture, whether they want to do what Red Hat is doing and change the storage piece out, whether they want to be on the front end and the management capabilities, wherever they need to plug into something that works consistently across all the distributions. That Ambari work is going to help, from a Splunk perspective, especially help us change the way that we can interact with the system, the things that we can allow users to do, the ways that we can work to make sure that the business users get what they want and that everybody's able to kind of use it, not only the data scientist people today and the people who are developing and writing code, but the people who want to interact and change things around and do it interestingly on the fly without having to know how to go in and be a Java guy or go in and be an operational engineer or whatever it is. I think it's fundamental and it really changes the way we can work with the system.
Okay. Okay. Scott, your thought for Red Hat.
We talked backstage, and we totally agree on a lot of things. And in particular, I mean, you highlighted the Ambari point.
Right.
And Ambari is a piece of kind of a larger picture around, I don't want to use the word standards and freak everybody out, because we don't need standards in the sense that you go to the sluggish pace that standards evolve through standards bodies. But for broad ecosystem adoption, you do need high degrees of interoperability, et cetera. And we've been working with the community and had really positive support around something we call the Hadoop Compatible File System Initiative. And we're looking at some ambiguities around semantics of the APIs, some implementation artifacts that show up in the APIs, and lack of compatibility testing that exists in the ecosystem. We've got a lot of people interested in contributing to that, which helps for more, like you pointed out, people could write their own file system. That's been possible for quite a while in Hadoop. But there's some rough edges, and this helps smooth out the rough edges. And Ambari is an example of the management API, which has been sort of neglected. I mean, there's, the pluggable file system interface has always been there, but how exactly are you supposed to manage those other file systems has been kind of neglected. So we've been really excited to contribute to it and kind of break the hard-coded dependencies on HDFS and bring the HCFS concepts into Ambari.